高橋。高橋. Oh, this one. Takashi.
Hi.
Oh, you're here.
He's there.
No, he's not there.
Philosophical question.
高橋。
はいはい。
あ、写真出てないよ。
あれ、私出し、
あ、出た、出た。
出ましたか寒い。寒い? That must be your air conditioner, no? It's so hot here. Not in this room, by the way. Outside.
35.
35.
Okay, let's, no.
Right.
Why like this? Why like this?
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to make it bigger?
Yeah, how about this?
Maybe maybe we can hide the side bar. I'm not sure of you. Yeah. Oh no, there's only. You need to show a sidebar.
Okay.
All right. No
problem. I can see it.
Okay. I hope you can see it too. All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today.
Oh, you wrote down Confucianism. Oh my God.
Today we are continuing in a series about parallels and differences between Japanese culture and European culture, and we have been studying European history, going all the way back from the Greek era all the way to the 1960s, and to get a better understanding where Europeans come from. Today we're going to get really serious, and that means that we are going to focus on philosophy, and the starting point of the philosophy is a book written by Uno-san about Confucianism, and I brought it with me. I studied it and I tried to kind of summarize it. Okay, so what is the general idea here? This is the book of Uno-san. And based on what I read in the book of Uno-san, I tried to catch the major ideas of Confucianism, just as a starting point, also to make sure that we are all on the same page and not missing important elements when about Confucianism. So basically, what I understand after reading Uno-san's book, I believe that humans, according to Confucius, people should be tolerant, but their tolerance is clouded by emotions like sorrow, love, happiness, desire, fear, hate, anger. But once you can reach the state of tolerance, you develop your mind. But people's judgment is clouded by ego, which is fueled by money, honor, family, status. But once you have a clear mind, you're tolerant, you can become truly conscious. That means that you can speak the truth, you see the reality, and basically Confucianism is a road, a path that you as a human must follow. Now, how can you go through this path? How can you get to a state of tolerance? How can you get a clear mind? And how can you reach that state of consciousness? It starts with being calm, being patient towards your wife, but at the same time towards your customer, towards foreigners. Basically, you need to be patient. And how does it work? So, if it is not a matter of principle, then agree with your wife, whatever she says.
Is this English?
Yes, consciousness.
Oh, consciousness.
So if it's not a matter of principle, if your wife is being unreasonable, but it's not a matter of principle to you, then agree with whatever your wife tells you. If it is a matter of principle, wait. Don't respond. Wait. If you do that, if you constantly do that, you will reach a state of calmness. You should not judge, and you should endure. Endurance is, I felt that endurance is a very important theme to maintain a good relationship with your wife. I think that there is a kind of difference in Western society where we are not good at endurance, but we are more looking to share common ground, create harmony. So endurance versus harmony, I think, is something that we will need to look into to explain differences in Japanese and Western society. Once you have reached the state of calmness, go study it to become consciousness. Don't be clouded with money, honor, status, or family, but study, work on yourself, and reach a state of consciousness. Once you reach a state of consciousness, you can speak the truth, and together with a clear mind and a tolerant mind, you can become a peaceful gentleman. A peaceful gentleman can generate followers, and followers create leadership, therefore a path to success. So the basic idea of Confucianism, as I understand it, is that you need to start small, with yourself, with your wife, manage your family, manage your family life. In order to do that, you need calmness, you need a clear mind, and once you do that, you become a better human being. A human being that's worthy of followers. And followers create leadership, and leadership can bring you success in life. So that's the path that Confucius has mapped out for us. That's how I understand Confucianism.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Mm. Okay. So, the main elements: do not panic, stay calm, show restraint, which has, I believe, clear parallels in Western concept of Stoicism.
Mm.
Later on we will have a look at video about Stoicism. Practice benevolence to maintain a pure heart.
Mm.
The three virtues in Confucianism are wisdom. Wisdom is a way to see the world in a wider aspect. benevolence. Think of other people's feeling. And valor, speak your mind. 5, ethics, also benevolence. Caring for others. Righteousness. Righteousness, I think, means being morally right. So it's a moral compass. So do what is right. Right? Care for others and do what is right. Propriety. I had to look that up, actually. I didn't know what it was. But it means, according to the dictionary, it means conforming to moral standards.
Propriety means action of benevolence.
Right.
Action. This is mine. Okay. This is action.
Propriety.
Ritual.
Rituals.
Yes, ritual.
Okay. So, but who sets the standards? Who sets the moral standards?
Who said?
Who sets them?
Who sets them? This is actually based upon benevolence. Benevolence mindset, right?
Right.
Benevolence in the world. Propriety out of world. Okay? You need to think about this is the right thing.
Right.
So
it's your own moral compass, not set by others.
You should take moral action. Moral action is propriety.
Okay, so but those are not standards that are set by any book or philosopher or whatever. Those are your own moral
No,
standards.
this is
Your
actually no. Propriety based upon 3 virtues, 5 ethics, 5 virtues, 5 ethics. Usually this is 5 values. Another 5 ethics we have, okay? But anyway, 5 ethics, 5 values, and 3 virtues. Based upon all those things, and you're going to propriety, take action. How are you going to do it?
Right. So, but that is based on
based on benevolence.
Yes, but benevolence has the core value derived from yourself, right?
Yes,
there is no thing as the Bible or as a written or unwritten rule. It's not dictated by society. It's only decided by yourself.
No. Benevolence. So you have Confucius Analyst, Mencius, Great Learning, and Golden Mean. 4 books.
Right.
We have 4 books, and this one is.
That's where benevolence is specified.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is.
So this is second book you have. You can get it. But this first book we just only talking about great learning and 3 virtues only. But we have a lot more. What is the standard? We're going to those old 2,500 years ago. They are teaching a lot of issues. But this you should do this, you should not do this.
Right.
A lot of material. This is I have 3 books. Just 1 book. Okay, but we have another 2 books.
Right.
Then you need to think about all those things. Priorities we have. All the ancient people they have lot of standard. You should do this, you should not do this, sort of thing based upon benevolence. Benevolence and propriety, righteousness, everything based upon that.
So that is an absolute. That is not relative. That is absolute.
Yeah, absolute rules you have. Absolute rules you have.
So how come there is so many shades of gray in China?
What do you mean?
How come there are so many shades of gray in China?
What do you mean gray?
So in Japan, things tend to be black and white.
Oh yeah.
Right? In Japan, if in China, things tend to be gray. If there are absolute standards, how come China?
Okay, everything like a cosmos. Every world is not black and white. You can decide everything this is black and white. Some cases you can decide this is black and white, but many cases you can judge this is black and white. This might be gray. war.
Hmm.
Like, for example, CO2 is bad for climate change, but this is you cannot decisively this is bad for climate change. No proven. Sort of things in the world, lot of things, many grades. But Japanese people, they want to decide black and white. But this is not good. But this is supposed to be gray.
Hmm.
Okay.
And all those propriety actions, those standards, they are mutually exclusive and generally exhaustive, because, like, the Bible, for example, is not. In the Bible, we very often have discussions about, okay, this is not according to the Bible because it says so in this book, in this verse. But then other people quote other verses and they say, well, it is in accordance with the Bible because in the Bible it says this. So basically, the interpretations, the moral standards are, we try to uphold them.
Okay. And this is different from Bible. Moral, okay? You believe this is right.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But I don't believe this is not right.
So you also believe it's right?
No, I don't think this is right.
Okay, so you don't believe it's right.
Yeah.
You just had double negative.
Yeah.
Single negative. So
Yes.
you don't believe it's right. Right. Okay.
And Confucianism word is moral is different by people.
Okay, so it's relative.
They give you, okay, moral standard, but not exact what it is. But he is going to give the moral. They're going to give you the measurement. This is just measurement, but this is different, person by person.
Right. So it is relative. It's not absolute.
Exactly.
Okay. In the beginning you said it's absolute. No, it's relative. I thought so.
No. Absolute is measurement. We have measurement. Okay, social measurement and moral measurement we have. This is absolute. But you and me, how are we going to understand how to recognize this moral standard different by person?
Okay, so but if we make that practical, so let's say the measurement, for example, centimeters, right? So you can measure all kinds of things against this measurement. You can measure this thing according in centimeters and this thing in centimeters. But if the measurement is objective, we can say, okay, from here to here it's 5, and from here to here it's 10. That's absolute. That's not relative.
Absolute.
So how are these measured? What is relative in?
Okay. A good example is man and woman. Okay. Many she's, for example, very difficult to confirm what she's thinking. Okay. So standard of judgment is very much varies person by person.
Right.
Okay.
But is she benevolent?
Yeah, but benevolent, but goodwill, mind, heart. Okay, heart herself is different from me. So this is what example? What good example is I love her.
Right.
I love her. She loves me. Who knows?
Only she knows.
No, she never tells the truth.
Yeah, but maybe she doesn't know.
So we're going to make sure she loves me, and if she going to tell the truth, I love you. She doesn't going to tell the truth. Also, she loves me, right? This is a moral standard is different. And then many Japanese person after retirement, wife tell his husband she want to divorce, right? Because she had a different mind for 30, 40 years. Now she can tell the truth. I want to get your retirement money for her and divorce. So this is moral standard is absolute, but actually how she's thinking about is different. And this is your right. Okay, you just believe her for 30 years, but she never believed you for 30 years. This is the moral. What?
I'm not sure whether I understand.
Okay, and just a woman again, more easy example. I'm going to ask her, let's go and dinner with me, not my wife. Okay, but she is very beautiful woman. Looks like she has a lot of boyfriend. But who knows that she will favor for me or not? But I'm going to ask her, let's going to take a dinner with me, but we are not sure. But she favor me, she's going to say yes. My moral standard is different from me. She don't care about I have a wife or not. Maybe she is very strict, rule she has. She don't like to take dinner with me like my case with wife. But also she is thinking about, she don't care about I have wife or not. She won't she want to take dinner with me. But her moral standard, my moral standard, many cases different.
Right.
So you need to Barua means you need to ask her.
Okay, but in that case,
you understand what I mean?
But okay, so people have different standards. But can you compare them?
Yeah.
Can you compare them?
No, more easy understanding is French president,
right?
American president,
right?
Japanese president,
right?
Moral standard is completely different. French president, if he's going to have a girlfriend, media don't take care of that. They don't care. American president got problem.
Right.
Bill Clinton paid $1 million for woman for rape. And Trump, he doesn't care for affairs. The Japanese president got some problems like that, he's going to be fired by people. So French moral and American moral, Japanese moral is different.
Okay, so but Confucianism doesn't dictate the moral standard.
No, but they have standard. But the standard is varied by people, varied by country, varied by village, area, and so forth. So Confucianism, they said, okay, you try to 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times for people, right? But not like Jesus Christ, not precisely make judgment.
Right.
You're going to judge based upon and consider for counterpart people how does she think.
So everything is okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So everything is relative. There is no absolute truth.
But absolute truth, they have moral standard. They have.
Yeah, according to your own moral standards, right? So
lot of moral standard. Like I tell you, woman is stupid. This is moral standard. Okay.
Sorry.
Confucianism said, and he said, woman is idiot. He said, what mean is just only my understanding. Okay, she is idiot. Okay, so she will going to value you. You are idiot. So man and woman is Confucius, standard is she's idiot. Then you're going to take action. So this is a Confucianism.
What action?
What action? Just you need to ask her, because she is different from yours. 100% for sure, she's different from yours. Okay.
But you are right, because you live according to your own moral standards.
Okay, Christianity is like this. You never rape your next door's wife.
Right.
But Confucianism never says that. You just ask her. She'll like you or not. Nobody knows. But anyway, you must be careful. She's idiot. This is Confucianism.
but okay.
Interesting, right? This is Confucianism.
But how is that? Within that moral standard, you would not consider the interest of her or from her husband, for example?
Yeah, this is Confucianism never teach you. You just try to check it. 10,000. Many times. Different.
So everybody can believe by himself that he is benevolent, even though...
No. Okay, idiot and
strictly...
benevolent is a different issue. She has benevolent. But criteria different. Okay, must be careful. Okay, she has benevolent, must be patient and tolerant. Yes, she has. But aspect is different. 100% different. 10,000 people different. Men and women different. So, not the same. So you try to check it. This is based on heavy communication.
So how come... Okay, so... If that is true, that basically means that everybody has different moral standards, right?
Yeah.
If that is
not the standard. This is
it's your own standards.
Their judgment.
Yeah, their own judgment, their own standards. So how come I can trust? If it's not easily measurable, how can I trust? For example.
This is Confucianism said. Whatever she said, you trust her.
Well, let's not talk about women here. Let's talk about business.
Everything.
How can I trust a Chinese businessman?
Okay, this is a big difference from Japanese American. Chinese is whenever trust you, whoever he trusts you. If you're going to kill somebody, but he trusts you, what happened? But Japanese American different. In some cases, just somebody, I'm going to kill somebody, but suddenly many people, don't trust me.
But how do I know which moral standards he obliges to? Okay, in Christianity, it's very simple, because basically we have a book, we have an objective moral standard. Well, at least that's what we try, but that's what we think. Of course, it's not true, but we have an objective moral standard and objective cultural values. To which people adhere. So that's basically a moral compass. But under Confucianism, that compass doesn't really exist because everybody makes his own magnetic north, right?
Yeah.
So how will I ever be able to trust?
Trust means not like a specific character, specific issue. You need to trust her. You need to trust society. You need to trust people. Not specific.
How often do I need to get hurt before I stop trusting her?
No, not how often. Permanently you trust her. Trust society. Trust country.
Even though I'm betrayed by the country, even though I'm betrayed by
in
my
the case
wife,
of just they also standard they have. Betray, okay. Betrayed is your boss. 3 times you need to allow him. 4 times you can cut it out.
That's the same in Islam. Did you know that?
Yes, but difference is like this. If this is betrayed by parent, you cannot be carried out.
Oh.
This is different.
Okay, but for example, if you say 3 times to your wife you want to divorce her, then you can divorce her. That's it. In Islam.
This is wife, yes, wife. But parent, mother, father, you cannot carry it out. You cannot. So your parent villain. You need to follow villain. You're going to villain. No way. Do you understand what this means? This is very heavy meaning. Why heavy? why follow your father? Why follow your mother? But grandfather, grandmother. You need to going back to 1,000 years, 2,000 years. All the way down to follow on their legend. Heritage,
Yeah.
okay? Heritage. This means dignity. Do you understand? Do you understand? Dignity. Dignity means take over, okay? Pass their blood. Okay? Like Japan is 2,000 years emperor's history. He has dignity. That's the reason why everybody, former, not now, but before, he is God. Because he is God the whole day, morning till night, he is just talking with God.
That has to do with succession. I thought dignity
Succession.
was more of a
This is important.
dignity. To have dignity means that you act in a dignified manner.
And okay, just Confucianism 2,500 years ago, nothing changed. Okay, no one character changed. Okay, Confucianism was same as exactly as 2,500 years ago. No addition, no deletion. So we need to study for this material, but many people misunderstand. Some portion is old, but no, nothing old. You should believe this. So this is also Confucius.
But is it a belief? Would you describe it as a belief?
Yeah,
It's a belief?
Yeah, belief. And he just Confucius.
But you don't believe in Confucius, right? You just follow his teachings, no?
What do you mean?
Well, when it comes to Christianity, it's like we believe in a certain God, we believe in the Son Jesus Christ, etc. That's a belief. It's like a in a religion, but Confucianism is not a religion.
Not a religion. This is actually
it's like a moral compass.
Yeah, moral compass. Like example is law. Okay, you just abide by law, right? But only abide by law is you a right person? No. Follow law is follow law. But propriety, you need to keep propriety, then you're going to be moral person. Only follow on abide by law is not good enough. This is Confucianism. Okay? And also going back to the talking about 1,000 years, 2,000 years, why Confucianism is the respect parent is most important issue, because you try to don't change your history of your family. None of those you can change it. Just keep on going. This calls dignity. Okay, like I have sword. Okay, and many generations they pass over the sword. This is family dignity. Okay, if you're going to try to do a new thing, maybe based upon this sort of tradition. If you're going to reform, don't forget this tradition, based upon tradition, 2,500 years ago. Or Confucianism might be 5,000 years, because Confucius summarized 2,500 years ago and the former their tradition, right? And since then, nobody changed it. This is
So it is very conservative.
yes, it's beyond conservative. This is so-called tradition. Okay? So that's the reason, most important thing for the Confucianism. What is this? This is filial piety. Filial piety. And you respect your parent.
Right.
That's all. Because respect your parent, it means listen to your parent. Respect your parent. And respect your parent, or parent respect their grandparent. So this is 100 years, 2,000 years, continue. It's succeeding on their heritage. This is dignity. And like an emperor, the family is they continue 2,000 years. Nothing kind of family in the world. Only Japan. Right? Japanese, so originally they had a dignity. But recently they forget it, they lost it. That's the reason why I wrote a book.
Well, the royal family didn't lose it.
No. Many people don't respect their family. Like some families, bad person. I said villain. And my parents villain, right? Oh, I don't believe them. No. You should believe them. Because they're blind, or also you're blind. You can escape from your family. This is the Confucianism. It's strict. Don't misunderstand. Many people like one of my daughter cut my family relationship. Okay, but she should not do that. Even if she against her father, she should follow it. Whatever happened. Right? This is Japanese heritage. That's the reason I'm talking about Japanese Confucianism like that. It's different from China. China is not like a tradition. We have, and also we are not individualism. Okay, that's unification.
But is that a biological thing then? Does it have to do with because why should I follow my family and not my neighbors, for example, or people who lived in the same part of the country as I did, or where does it come from? Only via bloodline?
Only bloodline. This is very important. Like Japanese people we have emperor family history, right? 2,000 years. Also, your family history, you just keep it. This is Japanese dignity. Only Japanese different from other nations. This is based upon Confucianism. Right? Like maybe many people misunderstand. Why respect your family, your father, your mother? No. You follow them. Whatever they said, you should follow them. This is
how come it's different from Chinese?
Oh, Chinese is individualism, but Japanese is unification.
But
also, Chinese is
Confucianism comes from China, right?
Yes, Buddhism.
Yeah.
So Buddhism and India and China, at the same time coming to Japan, 5th century.
Right.
Since then, Japanese try to study, but Confucianism they just much more emphasize on Edo era soldiers. Give them education, try to study Confucianism, because Confucianism is very good for sustained social structure. So you just trust your boss,
right.
You trust your parent, you try to relationship with a friend, and you try to take care of your wife. This is a very good, definition for how to keep any kind of society. Okay, Edo Bakufu organization is they try to use.
So it goes beyond your family.
Yeah.
So it's not only filial piety. It's It's actually also elders.
Yeah.
But the trust is based on your position in the system, whereas the Chinese Confucianism is more based on one-on-one relationships. It starts with the individual, not with the structure and the position of that person.
Japanese is always team, based upon team, right?
But and your position in the team.
Yes. This is a big difference.
So China is not based on a team. That's based on your moral standards, your
individualism,
individual,
like
and that is okay. Then there is a go no go moment where you trust the person or you don't, and once you trust the person, then there is no way back, basically.
So in China is also there is the same moral standard they have.
Does China have the concept of insider, outsider?
Well,
As they have uchi, soto.
What do you mean?
In Japan, you have the insider-outsider principle. You're either part of the family or you're outsider of the family. Then you're
More strict.
In China?
More strict. Because they have many people, many kind of people, many races, many local people. So they try to much more emphasize on family, or area, or region, or university alumni.
So if that is true, how hard is it to build trust with the Chinese?
Oh, Chinese is more difficult than Japanese. Japanese is one word, okay? Very easy to trust. But Chinese is more strict in trust definition. Is because they have lots of groups in China.
Right.
Even in living Beijing, but many kind of people live there. Not like Tokyo. Tokyo is the same. But Beijing is many people live there, right? So they are not easy to believe them, not easy to trust them. It takes many years to get invited into their network.
Right. So let's say that you would
because, for example, okay,
have a friend in China.
Yeah, because
right?
China case is very careful to select a friend, because if mistaken to take wrong friend, you're going to lose every asset. Japanese don't do that, but Chinese do that. Okay. So whenever they're going to trust you, forever they're going to trust you.
But in Japan, you also have this system that when, for example, you wanna borrow money, you need a guarantor, right? That can be your friend or whatever, who takes over your debt in case your friend is not capable of repaying. It's the same principle.
But Japanese case is not like China. It's not strict.
What would happen if you have a friend in China? You want to do business, and your friend is actually connected to other businesses, and together you make a product, right? So you buy that product from China and sell it in Japan, for example. You have a trust relationship, but you also have your own interest, right? So what if your interest and the interest of the business partners of your Chinese friend do not match? So if basically your friend in China needs to make a choice, it's either you or his network in China. How is that going to pan out?
What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean.
Well, I'm trying to get a better understanding of, okay, what does it take to build up a trust relationship in China? Because basically I can have a friend, and according to your definition, that friendship is permanent. But I'm not the only friend so for example, if you were my Chinese friend, you have other friends, because you have Kimoto as a friend. Now, if Kimoto and I have a conflict in interest, you are in a difficult situation.
Why difficult situation?
Why difficult situation? Because basically, I have a relationship with you. I said I want to have 1,000 bicycles shipped to Japan by August 1st, but Kimoto-san cannot deliver. So you need to make a choice, because you're in the middle.
So, you mean that I'm a middleman?
Yes.
You mean?
Yeah.
So what do you mean?
I mean that what will happen, even though I have a trust relationship with you, you have to make a choice whether you are going to support me or you're going to support Kimoto-san?
Still don't understand what you mean.
We have I'm going to China to have bicycles produced. You
Yes.
are my friend.
Yes.
You're a Chinese businessman.
Yes, he can deliver the 1,000 bicycles for you.
Right.
So you try.
No,
to,
but we agree that he ships them on August 1st, but he actually can only ship them on September. So I have a big problem, and I'm complaining to you. So who are you going to? Which side are you going to choose?
Chinese cases, you're going to need to talk each other.
Right, but I'm talking to you because
You
you're my
cannot
friend.
wait. You need to change the supplier. I'm going to tell him. He understands, my friend. You don't need bicycle August 1st, so you can deliver the bicycle 1,000 until the September 1st. So I'm going to find another supplier.
So you're not automatically going to choose the relationship of your friend in China.
No
over
problem
my
at
relationship.
all. I can. She's friend. If she's friend, no complaint. Okay, and this is friend. What kind of claim, problem, issues, talk to each other, then he understands. Whatever reason, but he cannot wait until that. But even if I don't tell the reason, he won't agree.
Okay.
Because he understand each other as friends.
Okay.
But Japanese is different. Japanese cases, if he's my Japanese friend, he'll go and ask me why. Okay? He just negotiate with you and wait until the September 1st. And he's going to tell me, ask me, no, August 1st. And could you negotiate something? Japanese trust relationship is more loose rather than China. China is okay. Glad you said, okay, I follow you. No reason. If you say, I follow you. But Japanese is different. Japanese is not so much reliable. Okay? Even if he's a close friend. Some Japanese friend is very deep trust relationship he has. But not so many. But Chinese cases, many people is betray me because he is not truly my friend. In this case, he betrayed me, but easily to betray me. Even 10 years later, 20 years later, he just betrayed me. Right? You must be careful. But this case happened. Oh, no way. A big difference Japanese Chinese. Because Japanese is living in one village, but Chinese spread all over very huge country. Many type of people, many different people, so very difficult. Their history is it's kind of lying and some killing and a lot of things is actually turmoil in that country for thousand years battling. So they are very strict relationship. That's kind of so 5 ethics, 5 values, and 3 virtues. They establish kind of system, spending many years. But Japanese is different. Japanese, import this sort, 5th century. Then we think for that. How to consider for Japanese people is different. But China, Japanese different. Two things. One is Japan is not individualism, and maybe the same as Japan is big village unified, big village. Two differences: time zone. Japanese is very strict history we have, not like China. China is all the 5,000 years, 2,000 years, all the way battle, kill each other. Japanese never do that. It's all the way around is emperor's history, from the beginning of history, all the way down to until now. So Japanese culture is kind of culture they have. Right? The different China and Japanese different. Okay, and Japan is just only one kind of nation, like in the world, they can have a strong tradition. But recently, defeated by the American War Guild Information Program, they changed Japanese culture, Japanese thought, Japanese history, eliminate everything. So they forget it. That's the reason I wrote this book, Spirit of Japan. And Edo era and Meiji era, they have, so there's the kind of sort of people, a lot of people, they survive. They have, like, Sino-Japan War or Russo-Japan War. At that time, a lot of, dignified people still survive.
But actually, didn't this movement already start before that? When with the Meiji Restoration, does it really have to do anything with the American War Guild program?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that Meiji Restoration and Shibagoro, the famous person, he just beat Chinese insurgent, okay, and Beijing. And Shibagoro, the lead America, French, and British, lots of people, he led against Chinese rebellion. This is a famous story at that time. So kind of person that survived at that time. Beijing 55 Days in the famous movies. But that's the old lie. Okay? But true story is Japanese Shibagoro led this battle against rebellion. And several thousand people, citizens, they protected.
Sorry, but was there insurgents from China in around 1870? When?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. 1870.
There was an insurgent from China?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Rebellion.
Okay.
Boxer rebellion. You don't know?
Rebellion?
Rebellion.
Against what?
Boxer rebellion is against sergeant against overseas invasion. British invasion, everything invasion. So they try to protect Chinese country. Government support them.
But what had Goro to do with China?
Because Japanese also, they had Japanese territory in Beijing. Japan, British, US, and France, they have territory, occupied territory in Beijing. So Goro Shiba protected all those people, including civilian women and children. She was so famous, but actually at that time, kind of person survived. Many Japanese dignified people survived. Russo-Japan War and Sino-Japan War, still many people survive. And because they have much more emphasis on tradition. But since then, Meiji Restoration, they try to stop education. It's kind of, benevolence.
So, that was a move that already started, but very often is pointed to the role of the United States and restructuring the education as a destroyer of the Japanese culture of Confucianism.
So that's the reason why what I'm talking about is graduate school. Why I'm writing one book every month, because in future every Japanese people should study kind of Japanese spirits. Okay. So back to the 150 years ago, the era soldiers, everybody studied. Right? And also you need to chase money, you need to chase position, you need to get fame. No. Most important is benevolence and righteousness. Okay, don't get money, don't chase position. And you must much more emphasize your family, and then you can lead organization, society. Bring back to the ancient people thinking. And also, you need to remind Japanese tradition. And Japanese anthem, Japanese flag, you must be respectful Japanese people, Japanese country. but many teachers never respect Japanese flag, right? So what I'm thinking about, okay, Japanese people need to consider 100 years we try to re-educate Japanese people. 100 years, it takes 100 years. You know? Or switching student, their teacher, takes 20 years. Writing educational big book, 10 years. And then 30 years later, our children are going to start to educate. It takes 30 years, so it is including 60 years. And 30 years, Japanese, dignified person will going to be grown up. 60 years, 100 years. Then 100 years, they change the world. So, people training, education takes 100 years. Ancient people told us. So that I started to write a book like this. It takes 100 years. And it's changing whole. It takes many years for teaching professors, teachers. Not easy to understand like this Confucianism. Japanese culture, Japanese spirit. Very not easy. Okay, you should follow your parent. Many Japanese people. Why?
So
right?
I also think why. Seriously, why?
Okay, you should follow your parent. Each word, respect them. It's strictly you just follow parents' word.
Actually, I don't believe it. No, I think there's
Yeah, this is young kids.
Yeah, but there is
right?
inconsequence in
This
that.
is education.
But there is an inconsequence in that.
See, they see a boy, 3 years old, you should believe your parent. You should believe parent, and you should memorize Analect. Analect is the Confucius book. You read, and you just listen repeatedly, parent, force them to study,
Right.
memorize.
But the reality is that not all people are good, and if your parents are not good.
No. This is Japanese tradition. Okay, just thinking about emperor get son from the first year until he'll die. He just forced him to study the kind of Confucianism way, this way. Okay, he never changed his life. Or he like this way, he like this way. No, he should follow just one way. Shinto. No opportunity. But 2,000 years they follow the same way.
Yeah.
So this is Japanese tradition. If you like, if you don't like, it never mind. This is you should follow. This is Japanese strict tradition. So our education is like this. This is not right or left. Okay, you should follow on Japanese heritage. So this is liberal arts, so we call. So in currently university, liberal arts education professor, teacher.
No, it's not liberal arts because actually it doesn't force you to think.
No,
you
this
just
is
follow.
a perspective inside, but this is Japanese perspective, Japanese inside. This is different.
It's not liberal arts.
So
But
this is dignified liberal arts. Okay, this is liberal arts is we so-called liberal arts, but also this one is liberal arts with spirits of Japan. And liberal arts we're going to more broad insight and deep thought and perspective. But what is it based upon? Based upon the spirits of Japan. Okay, with spirits of Japan. So this is liberal arts and pair. Right? Not only liberal arts, but also pair your spirit. Right? So this is many like you European people don't understand why Japanese like that.
right.
Okay, this is right wing? No, not right wing. This is tradition.
Extremely conservative.
Yes, that's right.
Extremely conservative.
Yes, right. This is what I force them to study. And this is, I think, 2,500 years. Maybe Confucius is born with 2,500 years. It means he just collecting information. It means more than 2,500. It means 3,000, 4,000 years is collecting sort of things, get together. He written the book. And this one is, I think, they didn't change any word. Many people, this is some areas very too old. and they don't fit the current era. No, I don't think you should follow.
So this is 180 degrees against my culture.
Exactly, but okay, I tell you. But tradition with reformation. Okay, based upon tradition, based upon conservative, then you're going to consider for innovative mind, reformation and innovation. Add on this tradition. This is Japanese. So recently, they forget this base.
But actually that's not true, because you just need to follow.
Okay.
Follow.
Okay.
Because was everything so great?
Easy. Thinking about, for example, if you, okay, dignity, man with dignity is how they're going to. He's supposed to be a dignified person, and he with pride. This is with respect. It's not easy. This is just only the capable with tradition. Okay, you going to let's see, doing business, or just your family, or your politics and everything and social work, but with your dignity, no problem.
So, but does that mean that people?
But these ancient people very much emphasize on dignity.
What is the worldview of Confucianism about? Every person is equal. Equality.
Oh, men's equality, right?
Yeah.
Women not equal.
Men is also not that equal, because it depends on your ancestors, no? So people are not born equal. It's not inequality. So how does that relate to
Confucianism is
democracy?
men is they are just familiar with democracy, no problem.
But not.
But okay, Confucianism will going to teach you. If you're going to belong into some organization, you should follow your boss. That's all. You should take care of your wife.
Follow your boss. Say yes.
You take care of your wife. You try to believe your friend. Right? You respect your parent. That's it. Okay, what your parents say, you need to follow him. And your boss is telling you crazy issues 3 times, you just fire. You quit firm, no problem. But parent, how many times is order you illegal or wrong things, but you need to follow him. This is a Confucianism. Because this is tradition. You need to follow history. You need to study your country's history.
What is so great about history? Huh? You cannot interpret your own. You just need to follow it.
You must respect your country. You must respect your country's history. You must respect your nationality. This is identity.
I don't.
This is identity. Okay, this Confucius said this is identity.
Well, basically, no. Well, that's the thing. That's the key. That's a key difference, I think, because I really don't respect certain decisions and certain actions that my country did in the past. I just really don't respect it. It was wrong. It was completely.
Okay. Don't misunderstand. Long range, 1,000.
So.
Long range.
So, but why?
Like, for example, I don't respect.
There are certain.
I agree with you. Why just the Japanese? They're going to start waging war with China. This is stupid.
For example.
Yeah, but you need to consider for 1,000 years range.
Right.
This is your history.
So you can find good things and you can find bad things. But blind following everything and.
So this is parent.
But that's tradition, right? Because your parents, parents, they all just follow. So everything
accumulating.
Basically, you're taking away the critical thinking away from the past, because you just need to follow. You step on. I can understand that you don't want to just throw away. You don't want to come into this world as a blank sheet, because that would be a shame, because there is a lot of
if so,
history.
Just this is we have sacred book of not 4 books but other book we have, but still we are graduate song. Everybody sing a song. Graduate, elementary school, middle high school, same song they song. This is they need to, in the Japanese saying, say, you need to supersede your parents.
You need to be better than your parents.
Yes. Get more higher position. Get more fame. I'll commit for you.
Fame?
Fame.
That's strange. That's actually not supposed to be in there.
No.
Fame will cloud your
fame
judgment.
And social status, everything you just supersede your parents.
Really?
Yes.
But how about this? That clouds the mind, no?
But this is not the most important issue. But if you're going to consider for the morality, finally you get social status, position, fame, money, follow you. Righteousness is first, and righteousness and money will follow. They say.
And then fame.
Yes, that's right.
Right. So a lot of people make the mistake that they deserve this, but they actually.
Yeah, many people don't understand. I told you this is no. What you're doing, your benevolence, your righteousness is wrong. Not money first. But why, Christ? The money is not first. No, should not do that. Right action, you should do that. This is Confucianism. So, any children still the same song? Okay, we just promised parent, we're going to supersede my parent and get more fame, get more money or position, and we study hard. This is song. This is our spirit. Still now they are singing a song. Right? This is education.
So well, it's very different. I think it's very, very different.
But okay, just thinking about you're just educated after World War II and free word and open thinking.
Yes.
And everything allowed to think of whatever you like.
Right.
And but sort of things is current world. Okay, not Japanese, not exception, the same as like you. So, but thinking about the way all the way back, your ancient people, what kind of thought did they have? What they studied?
Right. Well, we can learn things from that, but we can also learn good things and bad things about it.
What is their spirit? And what is the Christianity? What is Islam?
Right.
Like with Islam society, their education very strict. You know that?
Yeah.
So Islam, any kind of Islamic country, children education is better than Westerners. Very strict.
Well, a lot of it is focused on memorization.
Yeah, I prefer memorization. Very important. You memorize Quran is very important. You should memorize every Quran. Japanese before World War II, everybody, certain level of qualified family, they force them to memorize analect. Confucianism. Everybody memorize. This memorize means they memorize moral standard. Quran is moral, right? Memorize every sentence. Memorize. Then this is morality. But 3 years old, a Japanese force them to memorize. They don't understand the meaning. They can read. They just only memorize. Then when he's going up to 10 years, 15 years old, the first time to read analyst of Confucianism, they suddenly recognize, oh, I memorize every word. This is very important. This is a moral standard in your head, in your mind. Recent people, they don't have it. But like I'm teaching to Takahashi, and this is very difficult to memorize at a certain level of age. Every time I need to explain what this means, cultivate mind movement, cultivate mind movement, what this means, right? It's kind of good mind or pure heart, what this means. Very difficult to understand. But this is important. This is true education, what I am intending to.
Mm.
Okay, you are free. You can do anything. You can discuss whatever thought you like. But all the people strictly try to keep ancient people what they saw. And this is good or bad? No, this is no question. Because one reason is they try to keep this world for 500 years.
Mm.
This itself is body. They never change. Christianity is the same. They try to keep that world for thousand years. This is important, right?
Right, but so put this in the context of my culture. We have the Bible, right? So that they started to write that thing maybe a few hundred years after Christ.
But
a lot of people take this actually really literally. They really follow. They know the Bible. They know many phrases from the Bible, passages from the Bible, and they take that as an absolute moral compass that they need to adhere to.
But I don't tell you. Okay, I don't tell you. Bible is not everything. Okay, Bible is not everything. One of those. Confucianism is not everything. One of those. But this is tradition, and this is your fundamental. Okay, and
sure.
And you you try to construct a house. Okay, this house is basement is very wide, very big, and very hard, solid. Then you can have no problem.
Yeah. Okay. So, but basically, the Bible is for some people, it's the absolute. It's a manual how to live your life. For other people, it's a cultural foundation based on which they want to learn and understand and see where they come from. But that's it. It's not a manual. It's basically it's a collection of stories that gives you some background of where you come from. So to give you some connection with the past, with the culture that you came from. So I think there is value in reading the Bible, no matter how you interpret it. But to take these things literally and to take them as a compass, and then you should follow exactly and memorize it literally.
So if you're going to study Confucianism, if you're going to get the spirit of Japan, you never sway your pillow. Okay?
Right. But that's...
This is dignity. For example, you have 1,000 million dollars, a rich person. I'm going to meet with you. You think I'm rich. Okay? You need to follow me. You're going to think about it. I never follow you. So what? This is dignity.
But if I'm your boss, you need to follow me.
No. Many Japanese, okay, you have 1,000 million dollars. The Japanese are reluctant to speak out whatever he said. You're wrong. He can say. Because you are rich. He's success. Right? He's going to believe.
But in Japan, there's not Japanese people think that.
Yeah.
Is it not because you're older, or you have a
Japanese
wealth is not really.
No, one example. Or just high position. What does it mean? Why I need to follow you? Okay.
But you need to follow people in.
No. What I'm talking about. What does dignity mean? What identity mean? What does pride mean? This you need to consider. Everybody need to consider. Okay, before World War II, and they are going to ask children, in future, what you're going to be? Okay, I want to be. Many people, I want to be Prime Minister.
Yeah.
I want to be the general. Everybody. Now, ask question for them. They are baseball player. Right? Sort of answer they come. It means no dignity.
No, it means that they grew up in a different era where the heroes now are baseball players.
No, this is not good.
No, it's just a different reality.
Wrong education. At least they should say, I want to get more higher position than my father.
There's no right or wrong in this thing.
Okay? This is the conclusion. And they're going to ask you, respect your parents? Of course we should. But recently, they don't do that. Like you. Oh, how come? Parents. I am. Like my children. They are doing whatever they like.
Right.
No kidding, son of a bitch.
Really?
Yeah.
I think respect should be earned. Not that you can't take it for granted.
Whatever happens, you should respect your parents. This is a Confucianism, mandatory.
So
Why? Simple reason is tradition. Why tradition? If you're going to keep tradition, you can get pride, dignity, confidence.
well, so that's why I have a little bit of difficulty with your definition of dignity, because dignity doesn't come from tradition. Dignity comes from your attitude, your behavior.
Behavior is based upon tradition. Tradition is human being fundamental. Right? This fundamental is just like your every kind of history or kind of mental background. Right? This is a tradition. So based upon tradition, if you have established tradition, you can speak out whatever you like, but speak out with confidence. This is the most important thing to do in your life. Okay, you're doing like a expert area, like IT, whatever, and you just get money, whatever, and you're going to whatever you like, you can speak out. But beforehand, you should have what is your fundamental. This is dignity. Right?
Yeah, but so
the other way around, I say
but what
this is not light,
but
very heavy.
But okay, so basically the core point here for me is that you should kind of accept everything without any critical thinking. So you need to respect your parents, even though if my father was, which is not the case by the way, but if my father was something who did not deserve respect because he was not a good man, for example, I should follow him anyway because he's my father. To some extent I owe something to him, but it doesn't mean that I need to follow in his footsteps.
Yes. So if your father is divine,
Yeah.
you should be divine.
Because you believe that is my true nature. What's the American philosopher? What's his name? Emerson.
Emerson said,
Yeah.
my father is divine, I'll follow him.
But that's my true nature.
He said, do you know Emerson graduated Harvard,
Yeah.
18 years old?
18 years old.
Graduated.
Okay.
Okay, just you believe him. Emerson said, my father is brain, okay, I'll be brain. This is a very important thing you should follow.
But Emerson actually, I believe that Emerson didn't he say that you need to follow your true nature?
No, I'll show you.
That if your true nature is to be a villain, then you should be a villain. But it's not based on Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Emerson. You spell it wrong?
With one M, that's correct.
Oh, yeah. Yes. somewhere they should have we graduate university 18 years ago.
Nature.
Yeah, this is nature, famous book. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He said what I said.
Believes.
Yeah.
Maybe in the introduction. Sven.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, somewhere he said more famous word. But anyway, the Muslim said.
Didn't you write it in your book? I saw a picture of Emerson.
Oh yeah.
What have I to do with the sacredness of traditions if I live wholly from within? My friend suggested. But these impulses may be from below, not from above. I replied. They do not seem to me to be such. But if I am the devil's child, I will live them from the devil. No law can be sacred to me but that of my nature. So, but that is different. That is completely 180 degrees different from what you're saying.
No, she said, I'm a child, devil's child. Okay, I'll be devil's child.
No, that the devil is his nature, not his successor, not where he's from, not his ancestor. That is his true nature. He really actually. This I thought you meant this as to be the opposite of what.
No, he is born. He is born as a devil's child.
No, that's an expression, Uno-san. That's not.
Really?
That's not his father. No, that's different. That's 180 degrees different.
But if I am the devil's child, I will leave them from the devil.
No, but that's not like obeying your parents. The devil's child is basically, that is my true nature. If my true nature is the devil, then I need to obey that. It doesn't mean that the same as Confucianism. That's actually 180 degrees different.
What do you mean? What does this mean?
Basically, it means that, so
if I am a devil, parent is devil, right? Parent is devil, right? So I live as devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not the parrot. No.
Parent
The devil's
is devil.
child is an expression. So basically, if my true nature is to be a devil.
Idiom? Devil child,
Yeah.
devil?
Yeah.
Idiom?
Yeah.
Idiom?
Yeah. Let's look it up.
So maybe I misunderstood it.
He is a devil's child. Devil's child. That's the song. Judas Priest. Still?
Oh, here.
Oh, that's a movie.
No. What is one? How can I do? Oh, no.
He's the devil's child. It's definitely an idiom in Dutch.
Yeah, here you go. Oh, we have.
But that one is not so good, I think, because it's crowdsourced.
Mm. No, didn't mean.
Devil child. Yeah.
Oh, I have one. Devil Child. Television movie. Devil Child. What hell do you want to do? I don't know this. What this mean? Tell me, I don't understand. I don't know. What Devil Child, what this mean?
It basically means you're evil.
You're evil.
A person with true potential of becoming Satan's right hand, a man causing pain and destruction with every moment creating. Looks devil's child. So, okay, I will look a little bit more to Emerson, because I believe actually Emerson was indeed.
She is a very famous person for Japanese people. So I understand normal understanding.
Because
if I'm a devil's child, I live as devil's child.
Right, but a devil's child here doesn't mean that your father is the devil. Basically, you have
father is
devil's nature.
No, father devil.
No.
This is Japanese understanding.
Okay, so if we compare it, put it in a bigger context, Emerson was an extreme liberalist with the freedom of thought, not based on tradition, but really discovering values in yourself.
but he is okay.
So then it doesn't make sense.
He said, I
Emerson.
understand, but the Japanese people understanding is, if I born in devil's world, I will follow on devil. This is Japanese people understand.
Yeah, but that means following your true nature.
Nature. This is nature.
Right, but that's not your
nature. But if he's born in devil's family. Okay, I follow him devil as a devil.
I think this is not what he meant.
Okay, check it. Okay,
yes.
In Japanese understanding like this.
Okay.
Next week.
Okay.
I'm not just criticize your opinion, but I don't
know.
No. Japanese,
I think that
at least Japanese Emerson understanding like that.
Okay.
Okay, Emerson is very famous for Japanese people. Okay, so his nature, he is very famous liberalist.
Right,
and
exactly.
Liberalist is he's just okay. Just kind of saying is usually never says that.
Right.
But he dared to say that. Okay.
So you agree that it doesn't fit into his philosophy?
Yeah.
I don't think so too.
Yeah.
I think actually devil's child. He's a devil's child. It basically means that he's bad.
Yeah, I'm bad.
So yeah.
But anyway,
anyway,
this is Emerson is exactly follow on the tradition. Liberalism, okay.
No, I think actually okay, so this is where we disagree. I think that he actually is not following on tradition, but finding truth.
Okay, he is very authentic. He's a very super person. But he said, okay, he do not neglect blood. Okay.
I think he does, but I will look into it.
Blood is very important. You can change your blood. So you even if liberalist, even if it's kind of democracy, whatever, but you should follow your blood.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you need to follow your tradition. You need to follow your own nature.
Okay,
that means that you can go against your parents.
Blood is the same as tradition.
No, but you can go against your parents.
You should not get against parents.
Okay, so that's where I think Emerson didn't mean that.
Yeah, you just take it, okay?
Okay.
Just
so anyway, I think basically that so Confucianism stands on the shoulders of history and put basically an absolute in your life where you need to follow your parents. That's just it. Just like, for example, fundamental Christians say you need to follow the word of God, literally. Fundamentalists in Islam say you need to follow the word of Allah. That's an absolute. So there is a moral compass here, and the compass are your parents, are God, are Allah. That's the.
If Japanese has spirit of Japan now, they can Japanese politicians and business people, they are more equal discussion with Westerners people. Currently, they don't have it, so they just follow on everything, follow Westerners' opinion, everything. They cannot speak out any opinion. Do you know that? No opinion. I've never heard about that.
They follow, but that's impossible because they're.
Like, for example, Abe joined the G7. I never heard about that, what he's speaking of, what he said. In some cases, his name is dropping out from newspaper. Right? They neglect it. Why? Because Japanese, Western people, they have their spiritual mind, very strong spiritual mindset. They have, but Japanese, they lost it.
I actually was thinking about that later on.
This is what I'm talking about. So this is a very important issue.
So actually, when we talk about that, I was thinking about this. So the truth is something that is taught, not found.
What is it?
Black and white, basically. So maybe let's go too quickly because we are taking a few steps. Black and white.
Only Japanese people, they try to sorting out everything black and white. Only Japanese.
But actually, it's even taught. So this is right, this is wrong. This is something that.
Yeah, this is completely wrong. Everything gray. World is everything
right,
gray.
But I mean, in Japan, it's right or wrong. It's black or white. It's absolute. If it's black and white, it's absolute, right? There is no gray. Black and white means absolute. So if it's black or white, then it's either right or wrong. Then I am right, you are wrong, which creates an ego, creates an awareness of I am right and you are wrong.
Oh, right? Japanese people, they have not I, not you. Japanese language, we don't have I or you.
That's right. That's right. But actually, implicit, you have. Because how can it be right or wrong? I have the truth.
Japanese word is only we.
Yes, but we is actually I, us, you are right, us versus them.
That's the reason why European people don't agree with them, because Japanese people try to force we. Like they try to export technology to Southeast Asia. South Asian people don't like it. The Japanese people say we. They said no, not we. I'm different from opinion from yours, but Japanese force them to use this technology. They don't like it. everything on global level. Okay, this is the EV or hydrogen technology is the best in the world. Maybe this is best in the world, but European people don't like it. For Japanese people, everything considered we. But no, they don't say we. So this is very important things. And also Japanese people, this is the right answer. They try to make conclusion. But how come you're going to decide this is the right answer? You can decide which is right or wrong, but you cannot decide.
Right. So that has to do with education. Anyway, so this is going a bit too fast.
And also the discussion is the same. And Japanese people, they don't discuss. They just only listen from teacher. No question.
Right. And a teacher tells you what is right and what's wrong.
No, this is wrong.
But even parents, I saw on television once, so like they actually teach kids how to associate, even like blue sky, things like that. That's not a natural process. That's actually taught. Wow.
No doubt. This is not good. Right?
So. But so that means that there is actually a right answer for the word connected to blue sky.
I think you try to understand Japanese spirit, but anyway, we have big gap among European people and Japanese people. Okay, anyway,
but actually, so not always, not everywhere, because actually, like for example, like a moral standard, a right and wrong. That's actually there is a lot of European culture and a lot of Muslim culture that also has this very strict divide and moral compass as to what is right and what is wrong.
No, I wanted to say is Japanese people have heavy inferiority compared with Western people, especially their mindset, their spirit, their confidence.
They don't express their inferiority.
No, they don't have nothing in their mind. If they have, okay, but they don't have it. How do you think?
But I don't feel.
Okay, whenever you're going to talk with Japanese business person and take a dinner, whatever meeting, and they're talking about the content of business, but they can speak at not more than that. Negotiating the contents of your business and price and delivery timing. That's all. But they never speak up who you are.
Is that because they cannot or they are not?
No, they don't have it. This is a very important issue, and 100 years ago, Japanese people very much emphasized on those issues. And Nitobe Inazo said that, and also the Oya Taizo Teijin founder said that. But the sort of things, nothing, you should not have it. You don't need to have it. But most important issue. They said, most important issue, but you don't need to have it. But most important issue you should have. But not anymore. This is Japanese spirit.
That I read in your book.
And this is eliminated at Meiji Restoration. Again, completely eliminated.
But that is actually not so unique, Uno-san, because I think that basically that is also true in Western culture, because when the industrialization started...
I don't deny it. I don't deny it. I don't deny it. Exactly what you said is I agree with you. But Japanese had it before, but not have now.
Right. But so I think that is more or less true, not only in Japan, but also in Western society, because basically education changed with the Industrial Revolution. When the schools were created to raise factory workers, to raise people who could be productive and work in the system. That was the idea of education, before that, it was much more abstract. But then education was used to actually become productive, to make money. That's not very different from Western society. This is also true outside of Japan.
Yeah. By the way, my simple question is: current Japanese, they don't have Japanese spirits, but how about your people, Dutch people, Dutch? What is your pride?
Our pride is that we are fundamentally and to the core pragmatic. So we are 180 degrees different from Japanese people. At least according to this Confucianism. I think that we are absolutely, so in our case, individual first. Individual first. So that's not the group, but the individual. Then we are very skeptical, so we don't believe anything at face value. We don't automatically assume that things are right or wrong. We assume that we are right.
By the way, what is your sort of dignity? What is your pride?
Our pride as Dutch?
Yeah.
I think actually our liberal culture. But I must honestly add to that a lot of it is disappearing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it used to be like that.
I want to say why I'm very much concerned about the spirits of Japan. Why? Because what is your superiority among the rest of the world? What is the superiority? Technology? Or, like leadership? Or economy? Or politics leadership? Or whatever. What do you have?
What is your unique selling point?
Exactly. No, not now. Okay, 30, 40 years ago, maybe Japan has advanced technology. We have a lot of electronics and everything else, but not now. Automobile, no. Not anymore. What your advantage? Okay. What the reason why you can survive in the rest of the world? You can take a lead.
Okay, so that's a good question. I think if I had to answer that for the Netherlands, I would say that we are open to find the best technology or the best technology anywhere, take it and sell it somewhere else. I think that we never took pride and never were very good at making stuff ourselves, being leaders.
You can communicate.
But we're always there to actually kind of like bring this together. Yeah.
By language, also culture, very worldwide and very positive to communicate among multinational communication.
Right.
But Japanese, do they have? No, they don't have. What kind of advantage do they have? Not now.
Well, I think actually Japan has. I think when it comes to Japan, that there's a number of things that I believe that Japan has done very, very right. They held on to their culture. I think that they held on to. Maybe you don't recognize it as your nature, but I feel that the rest of the world looks at Japan and say, okay, they are very authentic. They are very homogeneous. They held on to all the good things in their society, where a lot of our things are in transition. In Japan, that's much less the case. I think there's another thing that there is a sense of responsibility for your customers, for quality, responsibility towards each other, towards the customers, so we can trust Japanese to deliver good products, good service, because they have integrity.
Why Japanese economy or political system will not be recognized in the world? Why Japanese economy is past 20, 30 years is staggering?
Why is it staggering? Because the world is changing.
Not only world is changing, but also Japanese they're missing something. Of course, they don't change, okay?
Mm.
They try to stabilize the conservative, but this is one big reason. But if you're going to break their conservativeness, or they try to more open their people to the world, or they try to increase their GDP or presence in the world, what they should going to do that?
Well, I think that
What you said, you said Japanese, okay? Japanese politeness, Japanese very homogeneous, so on. So what?
So what? Well, actually, I think that's different from what you are assuming. I think that actually
This
Japanese
kind of
people
you are good people. I like you, but you are not my partner.
Okay, so no, all right. So basically, why was Japan successful? Why were they successful? Because they did exactly they offered exactly what the rest of the world was offering, but they offered it better and cheaper, and so they offered the same product with superior quality and a superior price. That's what they did, but they didn't change with the rest of the world, because actually this was a supply-driven economic reality. Today is a consumer-driven reality, and even though Japan offers excellent customer service, I don't think that they really listen to their customers.
Yeah, this is Japanese, currently customer services is I don't think this is the best. And why Japanese economy prosper? Reason is just simply they working hard, many long hours.
Right.
That's it.
But
now is the Japanese
smart.
get more, slimy. Then they're going to reluctant to work hard. So no advantage they have. So like a new technology, China will take away. So what next phase Japanese people try to get more advantage, right? So this is what my definition of this education. Revive your spirit. And also you need to study the liberal arts. Japanese spirit, but also liberal arts, both of them. Liberal arts means, what I'm talking about is liberal arts is different from spirit of Japan. Liberal arts is Japanese is very shallow perspective, right? They don't know what's happening in the world. They very much more focus on Japanese language, right? They can speak English. So this is the problem. This is the other one, liberal arts. The other one is we're going to lose the spirit. Well, this is history, okay, time span.
So you want to rejuvenate
horizontal
leadership?
Yeah, leadership. So Japan currently, if you're going to overseas, none of Japanese can lead people or can make some sort of leadership in the world. And European people don't want to talk about Japanese people because they don't have a global perspective. They don't want to talk with them. Right? It's going to Japanese people make opinions.
I think there is a kind of a discomfort there because we don't understand you.
Yeah, that they don't understand us because Japanese people very narrow knowledge. Okay, it's different from rest of the world. They don't know what's happening in the world. So overseas people talk with Japanese people.
But I don't think that most people do not recognize it as such. I think that most people think that but their reasoning, their logic, the way that they think is so different from ours. I just don't get it. I don't understand what these people are thinking.
The logic is different from this. Logic and discussion basis should be same as European people.
Right, but it's not.
Well, this is because the information background is completely different. Like if you can read Nikkei newspaper, maybe you believe, this is just only 15% of my knowledge. 85 is different.
But I think there is a kind of mysticism in Western society about Japanese culture, the way Japanese people work together. It's. I think it's more of a. It's not like a recognition of these people don't have a global mindset, but more or less like I don't know exactly.
That's right. That's right. 2 years ago, I just outsourcing, presentation in Bangladesh, and I joined sort of a meeting, and one of the meeting is chairman came from Singapore, Microsoft president. And she told me, Clive, you just only can give you the 1 minute make presentation. What? She saw Japanese. She don't want to listen Japanese opinion. This is true. She experienced in Singapore. Japanese people speak at seminars, presentation, opinion. They don't understand completely. They don't understand what they're talking about. Sound a bitch, So she speak up to me. She's true. Why? Their information source, information background different from yours. This is liberal arts. So the other one is liberal arts. I just need Japanese people need to study liberal arts. But this one, the other issue, is Japanese spirit. Also, you don't know, you can communicate with European people. You can, because of the knowledge base is different. Not only this, but also, Japanese people, they don't have self-confidence. Self-confidence.
Well,
okay, what are self-confidence? Okay, they're going to the Asian people. They have self-confidence. Speak out Asian people, including Chinese people. I'm superior than you. What is your space superiority? Whenever she is going to start to talk with American and Dutch and European people, they stop to speak out anything at all. Do you know that? They don't have confidence. Why?
I think it manifests itself in two ways. Some people may actually feel they show some kind of maybe they feel inferior, they don't feel secure, and they kind of hide behind the fact that they say, well, I don't speak English good enough. I don't think that's true because your English is quite good enough. Other people, they go the other way. They actually act with a little bit of disdain.
Oh, by the way, Japanese people getting to the Asian people, even if they can speak English well, but they try to lead the other people, try to make leadership. But if American or European people join that team, suddenly he stopped speaking. Why? Suddenly he stopped speaking out his opinion. Why? I believe they feel some inferiority, inferiority rather than Westerners. Why?
Maybe they don't feel, but maybe they have an experience of actually having to engage in a debate, and maybe they don't feel comfortable.
No, I don't think so. Something missing. Something's missing. This is what I saw. This is, you don't have a pillar, or mental pillar, or spiritual pillar. What you are depending on your life? What is depending on your soul? Well,
is that the mental pillar, or is that the fundamental question that we ask ourselves throughout our years of education? That is why, and in Japan it's more what, meaning that why asks for reasons, ask for introspection, or ask for to actually look at causes and deeper meaning, whereas in Japanese education it's more it's this that people learn a lot, but it's not. It doesn't dig deeper than that. So once you engage in discussion among Europeans, it's very normal to ask for why. But maybe the question why is difficult to answer for a lot of Japanese.
Why difficult to answer for a lot of Japanese?
Because they don't ask why. They follow their boss. They follow whatever is on the table. There's no why.
They are not accustomed to discuss kind of things.
Right.
Okay, even if they can discuss, but not simple answer. This is what I thought. More heavy background, Japanese people, shortage of white people. Okay, going back to 150 years ago, why my background? Meiji distillation. Okay, and Yukichi Fukuzawa and the other people, they open the country and try to consider for industrialization. So you need to study the chemical physics and knowledge, not the wisdom. But they forgot that wisdom. Wisdom is most important rather than knowledge. Chemical physics, okay, you can make a ship, you can make a plane, but you cannot negotiate with white people. Actually, the British-Japan treaty, but Japanese cannot negotiate with British people because they don't have wisdom. Okay, they always feeling inferiority to the British people. So this is wisdom, but Japanese people throw that kind of background and they had at Edo era, throw them away everything.
So I would argue that perhaps it's also based on Japanese education, Japanese nature to think in black and white, therefore thinking right and wrong, and therefore not being very good at debating, because debating is usually going into the gray zone and finding the nuance.
Oh, some education methods succeeded from Edo era. It's no debate is based upon Confucianism, and you need to follow on that about people's opinion. This is some of Confucianism, but this is a Japanese bad habit they follow, succeeded from Edo era. And also bad custom is Japanese companies both will going to give them throw the ball everything. I'm going to throw the ball everything. I'll give you responsibility everything. You can do it. This is wrong. But this is Confucianism and the top and bottom. And they try to follow the both opinion. This is a bad custom.
So, but actually, how does that work? Because it's not a bottom-up society, is it? Because if the boss throws everything, like I'm going to give you...
okay. This is not this is Japanese people characteristics. Bottom-up is I don't know that before World War II they had bottom-up. I don't think so. Why bottom-up means total quality control system.
That's bottom-up.
Total quality control systems. American import to Japan, TQC, TPM, and those people, Japanese people, very eager to study that. So this is actually they established Japanese society bottom up. And the American people, government never believed that will success, but actually they success. This is a miracle. Finally success, Toyota system like that bottom up. But I think very bad. Oh, this is a very good thing, but very bad means is Japanese people. None of Japanese people has a strategic mind.
Right, but on the other hand, take TQM, because Japan was so good at it, made them very, very wealthy. Create the society as it is now.
But they don't have a strategic mind. They just thinking about any company. 3 years strategic plan, long range plan, mid range plan. It's very poor content. They don't think about 10 years plan. Of course, they don't think about what the education in 100 years. So already 70 years passed after World War II, we need to reconsider Japanese people education system. This is why I saw. I grown up under the American company, so I have strategic mind, strategic issues. It's most important.